My name is Thomas Mitchell, and welcome to Untangled Politics. This is a weekly show where we will untangle the mess of politics and help understand all things politically related. Let me start with a little introduction of myself. I have always thought politics was interesting since I was in seventh grade civics. I didn't understand much at the time, but I was really interested in how it was an integral part of our everyday life. As I casually observed politics from seventh grade to 11th grade, I mainly just read the headlines until the 2016 election. 2016 was such a cataclysmic event for me because I had so much hope in our political system. The potential of having Hillary Clinton as our first female president was honestly so exciting. But as I woke up the next day after the election to see the results, I was deeply puzzled how everyone thought she would win, but instead, Donald Trump won. To help understand this, I spent years getting deep into politics and being politically active. That's why I'm making this series. My goal is to create a platform that helps untangle Washington politics and help everyday people, no matter how involved they are with politics, to understand it. Let's start with where we are in America. America is heavily divided right now, from an active mob destroying the Capitol, to politicians and their supporters not believing in the election, to an active impeachment case against outgoing President Donald Trump. We are very deeply divided. To help sow the divisions we face, there's no way of knowing how to fix it without being accurately informed. Whether you are a registered Republican, Democrat, Independent, or not even registered to vote, we all have a part in this. This is, after all, our United States of America. Let's get into it. On Monday, a new Quinnipiac University poll found that Donald Trump finished his presidency with an approval rating of 34%. For reference of the former living presidents on their last day of office, President Obama had 51.1%, President Bush had 50.1%, Clinton had 58.8%, and Carter had 38.3%. This comes at the very end of a presidency of two impeachments, inciting a mob to storm the Capitol, the certification of an election he insisted he won but ultimately lost, losing almost all social media access due to inciting violence on their platforms, and a moment of reckoning of the Republican Party and its future. Although these are just truly numbers, it says a lot from a poll that encompassed all political backgrounds and their approval for the outgoing president. What this means is the Republican Party needs to sit down and spend some time soul searching to see their number one politician in 4 years tank in approval and arguably cost them the 2020 election and a special election in Georgia. On the eve of Inauguration Day, President-elect Biden proposed an immigration bill that will directly offer an 8-year citizenship path for undocumented immigrants in this country. Setting aside the ability of it passing in a split Congress, the president-elect outlined the people living in the United States as an undocumented immigrant will be able to subject themselves to a criminal background check, prove that they pay taxes, and meet other undisclosed requirements to qualify. If the immigrants are able to pass all the requirements, they will be able to qualify for a 5-year green card with a following 3-year path to naturalization. People who are also dreamers, part of the agricultural workforce, and under protective status are eligible as well and can acquire the green cards at a faster rate. Given the mentioned criteria above, when certified, they will be able to qualify and complete this whole process. This bill should come at no surprise, for it was one of Biden's campaign promises. The bill, with coming details to follow, showed the Biden administration's willingness to create a path to citizenship for those who are undocumented immigrants within our country and are law-abiding people who positively aid in American society. With such scrutiny coming from the Republican congressmen and senators in due time, assuming the bill is brought into Congress, it is unclear how likely this bill is going to pass. Now let's get into Inauguration Day. Former President Donald Trump opted to skip out on the historic inauguration of Wednesday. With a small crowd that was pitiful to watch at Joint Andrews Air Force Base, he left DC in Marine One and Air Force One. But that's all the Trump news I want to talk about, because we should instead talk about the current president and vice president. On Wednesday, President Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris were sworn into office with a small crowd size of roughly 1,000, with lawmakers, Supreme Court, justices, and other VIPs. Kamala Harris is the first woman, first African American, and first Asian American to hold the office of vice president. She was sworn in from Supreme Court Justice Sonia Sotomayor and Chief Justice Roberts swore in President Biden. After the swearing-in ceremony, Biden and Harris eventually made it to the White House, where they immediately went to work. President Biden signed 17 executive actions ranging from rejoining the Paris Climate Accord, reversing the Muslim ban, rejoining the World Health Organization, extending the halt in student loan payments, and etc. Vice President Harris, at the same time, went to the United States Senate to swear in 3 US senators and a new president pro tempore. Harris swore in 2 Georgia senators, Raphael Warnock and John Ossoff. She also swore her replacement from the California, Alex Padilla, and she was able to swear in current Vermont Senator Patrick Leahy as President pro tempore of the United States Senate, part of the chain of command. Now, for the senators, John Ossoff is the first Jewish senator from the state of Georgia. Warnock also being the first African American senator from the state of Georgia as well, and Padilla is the first Latino senator from the state of California. With these swearing-in ceremonies, the US Senate now consists of exactly 50 Democrats and 50 Republicans, with Kamala Harris as the tiebreaker in the Senate. Washington is going to be busy, as you can imagine. And finally, on Thursday, President Biden released his 100-page plus comprehensive strategy to combat the coronavirus. Part of Biden's plan includes accelerating vaccinations, mask mandate for all federal property and transportation that crosses state lines, using the Federal Emergency Management Agency, also known as FEMA, to prop up 100 vaccination centers in communities by at least this month. He's also planning to use the Centers of Disease Control, or the CDC, to expand vaccine access for local pharmacies. He also plans to use the Department of Health and Human Services to hire more health workers to aid in the administration of the vaccines. As President Biden stated, we are still in the dark winter of this pandemic, but with plans like this, we are closer to a better tomorrow. I hope you liked my first episode of Untangled Politics. If you have a comment or anything, or you would like to subscribe or leave a like, that would be great. And I will see you next week.